I think that let's go with the deepest hell.
All right, the deepest hell. Him from Oregon wants to talk about how theistic belief hinders the learning of evolution. You are live on Talk Heathen. How's it going?
Hey guys. Hey, pretty good. How are you guys?
I'm brand new,
Doing
mate.
all right. How can we help you?
Very good. Well, I thought I would maybe give you guys a thought that I had and share a thought with you and see what your thoughts were about it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I found helps as a scientist is creativity and the ability to kind of conceptualize things and think outside the box. And my experience when trying to teach evolution or talk about evolution is that there are theistic beliefs that sort of give you answers that preclude you from really diving deep into using your imagination and thinking outside the box. And so I have a feeling you guys are going to be pretty receptive to that, but I wanted to just get your general opinion because sometimes you see people who look at you weird when you are being creative, and the whole idea of creativity to me is essentially for science. So thought I'd give that one to you guys.
I mean, yeah, the ability to take concepts that can sometimes be hard to understand or esoteric and be creative in the way that you display them, either through like allegory or demonstration or just breaking it down into simpler terms. Yeah, I find that the whole field of like science communication is that intersection between creative artistry and scientific rigor. So your Bill Nyes, your Forrest Valkais, your people who make science fun but also accurate and interesting. So yeah, I'm on board with creativity as a vector for science.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think
I wonder
that
about the motivation.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you finish your thought because mine might slide in with yours.
Well, I also just think about the motivation. Like when you're a theist, you kind of have the answer, and it sort of it dovetails into epistemology, right? Why would you have to be creative if you kind of already know the answer? So, my theory is that theistic belief just kind of stifles creativity right off the box because of lack of motivation. I don't really need an answer; I already have it.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I was going to go, which is why I was happy to let you finish that thought. But the ways that Christianity and the ways that religion teaches thinking is opposite of the way science teaches thinking. And so I love, especially for younger children who are just learning how to use their brains and how to explore the world around them, where you are teaching the scientific method through play and through exploration. Just starting with the question, like, what is this thing? Where did it come from? What can I do with it? What applications can we have for it? All of that, of course, starts off the whole cascade of an experiment, because then you think, okay, what is this thing? What do I think this is? What do I think that this could be? And then I put it to the test and I see, well, actually, this isn't quite what I thought this was, or the outcome isn't quite what I expected. And let's make this other study for it. And we do that all the time with children, just formatting it in different ways. But where religion, I would agree with you and say that religion does hinder that type of thought process, because you start with your answer of God did this. All of this is because of the creator, because of this religion. And then therefore, everything that you learn has to somehow connect back to it. And so I think we're exactly on the same page, and it does teach faulty reasoning, because instead of starting with a question, all of your questions are just meant to direct the answer back to whatever your hypothesis was. Like if all of your experiments are confirming your hypothesis, maybe your experiment design is flawed.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I appreciate you guys like dovetailing it back into children, because I feel like that's where you have the most creativity, and it's so inspirational to see kids learn things. I love the Neil deGrasse Tyson videos where he describes, kids and just watching their brains kind of come to life. And then, then there's religion to just kind of beat the creativity out of you over the long term. But I find that, the best scientists are the ones that still ask the silly kid questions. And I love science because you just get that discovery, which is so inspirational.
And you're right, like a religion is shot through with what are called thought-terminating cliches, in mysterious ways. God has written the truth on your heart. Come to understanding as a child. Da, 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 da. And yes, seeing children get indoctrinated to have their creativity stifled and their questions quashed, or even be punished for being inquisitive, is a tragedy. It's one of the things that we sort of rail against when it comes to certain organised religions. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but a lot of the major ones are. And so,
Yep.
Free thought.
Very
It's literally on the side of the library. This is the free thought library. We want free thought for everyone, especially kids.
Oh my goodness!
Right, and this goes into the realm of philosophy as well. I mean, we know that science comes from the whole umbrella of philosophy, but like it's the same way of like teaching how to think through morality and ethical questions. Because of course, if you have a religion that says don't do this, don't do that, because my book says so, you're going to have a very incomplete sense of how gray reality is. But if you take a child or you take just any human and you say, okay, what do you think about this scenario? Like here is, like, if I give you this scenario, it's super black and white from what our culture would say the right answer is. It's easy to come up with, an answer on the fly, but you add in a trolley problem, you add in something else that's a bit more sticky, and you have to kind of explore the consequences and explore what you get with the scenario, what variables change the scenario, and then you might come up with a completely different answer than you started with. And so I think that this same process of creativity and exploration is exactly what we need to teach, philosophy, ethics, life concepts in general.
I totally agree. The harmful effects of religion on kids are a particular interest of mine. And so shameless plug, if you guys get a chance, check out my channel. It's called The Deepest. Anyway, thanks you guys for taking my phone call. That was excellent conversation.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Oh.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Nice little bit of bonhomie there. But yeah. Kids, what's the phrase? Can't remember who said it, but give me the 6-year-old and I will give you the man. And
it's so important. And I know that like we mentioned Neil deGrasse Tyson, and there are some people directly making content for kids, and it's great that with secular content for kids, you don't have to even specify that it's secular. You don't have to say this is non-religious content. Like you just make kids curious. You teach kids about the world around them, and they will probably gravitate towards secularism. And you can teach them that content without beating it into them. And I think that that's, an advantage of not just teaching straight propaganda the whole time.
Indeed.